Hi, welcome to Retirement Railroad. Net Day Modeling, tip of the day. I'm Steve, and today we're going to look at modifying my control desk, workbench, control desk, dispatcher area. It's got numerous names, numerous functions, but most people, I don't show it very often because I don't have a camera set up on it all the time. It sits right over here. But today I have a camera set up on it, so let's switch it around. Alright, so here we have it. This section here is a lift out. Right. It has a bus system on an RCA plug. It'll eventually be a suburban downtown area. I've got what I call a display track back here. That is going to be the subject of this tip of the day. But the first thing I want to do is let's show you how this transforms itself. And I've got the wiring bus unplugged. So the section lifts off. And I can put it down out of the way down here. Alright, and here is the 3-track testing bench. Alright, the center is for programming, the rear is for DCC testing, and the front is for DC testing. Now, one of the things I've come to the conclusion of, it takes up a lot of my bench space. And it's somewhat redundant in I have this display track up there that I can just as easily turn into a programming and DCC test track. Now, as far as DC testing goes, I've got another idea for that later, and you'll be privy to that when I get around to it. So for now, this section comes out, all the connections unplugged, and it simply comes out of the way as well. Right. So that leaves us with my desk, all right, a cutting board here, and all my different connections. This is nothing more than an extension for the to plug in my DCC throttle into the Digitrax system. Okay, I've just extended it out so that when the cover's on, I don't have to worry about getting back here to that plug. So what I'm going to do, I've got a double pole, a double throw switch here that is going to control whether or not this display track is set up for DCC or whether it is set up for DCC programming. All right? And what simply have to do is I'm going to add this switch in right here, alright, and have one of the leads coming from the DCC test and one of the leads coming from the DCC programming, and then come out and go to this track. Alright, pretty simple, but to do that I got to take all this apart, and stay tuned and you can watch. Alright, so I'm going to drill the hole here for the switch before I take this plate off, since the wood backing will give support to this plexiglass. And hopefully I can do this without cracking it. So far, so good. All right, now for the switch, as long as the positive or the reds are all on one side, whites are all on the other, the center here, white and red will go out to the track. White and red will go to DCC to the test, and then which is just track power, and then the bottom one will be, the bottom one will be for the red and white DCC programming bus line. So let's go ahead and start on this. All right, we got all the connections made, and so let's go ahead and check it. I've got the SW switcher on the track, and I've got the switch here in the up position, which is to test, which means I should be able to run the engine back and forth. We have a rear light, and we go in reverse. All right, we got a forward light, and we run forward. So we now know the test, the DCC test, works. Now let's switch it down into the program. And for this, I'm going to switch us over to a screen view. Of JMRI, all right, Declutter Pro. So if we watch the bottom, and I'll have to bring it up for you to be able to see, down here where it says OK, all right, when I hit read full sheet, you should see it running through the different CVs for this sheet, all right, to make sure it's communicating. So I'm going to say read full sheet, and there it goes. Readings 29, 17, 18, 19, 105, 106, and it goes on through this whole sheet. Okay, and it's okay. So what that proves is the DCC system programming is communicating with the locomotive, and everything is working according to plan. Not assemble it all back together again. Watch me run through the fast forward. All right, so we're going to do it on this view here. There we go. Okay. So there you have it. At the flip of the switch, we can go from DCC track power test to programming and back again. All right, that helps open up this entire area as a workbench, and instead of having that drop-in test track. So with that, the double pull, double throw toggle lets you switch from one source to another source, and can save you some workspace. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. Again, I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.